I'm back on my old camera again, so if there is a problem with the audio, please excuse. I do know there's something wrong with my old computer, the sound, and that plus an old camera, not good combination. So maybe you're not hearing what I'm hearing, but all I hear is distortion and fuzz and blah blah blah. Anyway, we're starting to get some of those Cherokee purple type tomatoes that I grew from seed. They've been coming up in my garden for several years on their own, and last year I saved the seed, and so they're starting to ripen now. They, when you cultivate them rather than just let them come up on their own, the plants get much bigger and they're much more productive. So that's what I've noticed so far. As for Galahad, another one I grew from seed, but I purchased the seed, seems to be fairly productive. Some of the tomatoes are really good size. Nothing's ripening yet. There is a little bit of blight on it, but it's not dying of blight like Big Beef did. So yeah, not bad, not a bad tomato. Hopefully it'll taste good. Tomatoes usually do from the garden anyway, though. So here's our gourds. The gourds took over for the... Rosie, what are you doing? What you doing? What you doing, Rose? Rosie, come here, Rose. Rose. Hey. Hi, sweetheart. Hey. Yeah. She had a rough day yesterday. She's still in her learning phase, and sometimes she just has bad days. So yesterday was a bad day. Here's a gourd. So, yeah, these are various types of gourds. I don't know exactly what kind they are, so we'll have a nice surprise at the end of the season. This, I don't know what it is. It just came up on its own. So we're going to let it grow, and it's got some flowers on it. Maybe we'll see what it is. Let's see here. Finally fixed my composter. The instructions to put it together were so awful that I did it wrong, and the bar that goes through the middle of it had fallen off. So I'm just starting to, I've repaired it finally, and I'm just starting to use it again. So we'll do a review of how it works in a few weeks. I did have a surprise pumpkin come out of the garden. It was little, and it had been chewed on quite a bit, so I treated it with hydrogen peroxide and then put some peppermint oil on it. It seemed to recover, but I haven't looked at it in a few days, so it's in the garage. So maybe I'll pause the camera and go get it. But it's very small. It's a let's see, Racer Plus pumpkin. And I know there is another Racer Plus pumpkin out there somewhere. We also have one Dynasty and 2 Corvettes. So that is 5 pumpkins maybe altogether so far that I've seen. And over here we're planting a newfangled type of grass. We'll see if it comes up. The other one that I tried, the other newfangled type of grass, it's supposed to kill insects and blah blah blah. It doesn't grow that tall and so forth and so on. It took forever to come up. It's finally taking. That's it over there. This is another brand of a low-growing grass, so not as fancy. So we'll see how it does. Sometimes I think it's coming. It's been in there about a week. Sometimes I think it's coming up, but sometimes I think I'm seeing things. So, and over here we have a little bridge now. It's all messed up by the nut tree, but I'm going to finish off the landscaping back here. I'm going to be retired as of September 3rd, and that's probably what I'll spend September doing, because when I try to do it on my days off, I just don't get that much done. So I'll have a little chair over there and a little dog walking through the backyard. Yesterday when I was putting the mulch down, she stole a big piece of mulch and ran off, and I had to get it away from her. Now she's doing it again. Great. Anyway, that's my girl. She's going to be 8 months old this week, and she is definitely still learning. Anyway, we have, like I said, a dynasty in here. It is hanging somewhere. Here, there it is. It slipped way down. It's hanging off the sunflower. And let's see, there is a courgette somewhere in here. I'm going to remind you, all the green stuff that you see is radishes, a certain type of radish called white icicle, and also catnip. And what that has done so far this season, you see that it's late August and the leaves are still in pretty good shape. Courgette is actually somewhat resistant to squash bug damage, but Racer Plus is not. It's also doing fairly well. What happens is the squash bug adults come and they lay eggs. The eggs hatch and the adults leave. The young adults leave. So this is an effective deterrent as far as I can tell. We're not at the end of the season yet, but this combination of white icicle radishes and catnip seems to work pretty well to keep the squash bug population under control without using a ton of pesticides. So I will be doing it again next year. I might just try the radishes and not plant catnip, because catnip just makes everything look messier. But I don't know. It seems to be more radishes here than catnip, so might be okay just with both of them. Anyway, but you see that radish down there. I don't know if I'm getting it. Absolutely huge. Not going to be eaten, of course. Probably fiery hot by now. And woody as all get out. I don't really like radishes anyway. Yeah, it's really hard to see where the pumpkins are. That's the one thing. Like I said, I had a surprise pumpkin the other day, and the only reason I saw it was bright orange. And I think that's going to happen a lot this fall. So anyway, let me pause for a moment. And if I can find the pause button. And I think I'll just turn the camera off and come back. I'll be right back. Okay, here's our little pie pumpkin that came out of the garden by surprise the other day. It was about to split, as you can see, and heavily damaged on the bottom by something that was chewing on it. I did treat it with hydrogen peroxide and then peppermint oil and put it in the sun, and it seems to have rescued it. We'll see. That's a nice little pie pumpkin. Cute little thing. So hopefully it'll make it to Halloween and we can make a decoration out of it. So yeah, that's my first pumpkin of this year. Late August or mid-August. Everything is a little behind this year because I was late planting, but things are looking up. There we go. So anyway, that's it for this week. I will see you next week.